pause for a second because there's a new way to dissect any charting track and reverse engineer it to find out exactly what makes it work. And today I'll show you this weird new workflow that lets you pull any song apart and actually use what you discover in your own music. In this video, I'm going to pick a song from the Beatport charts to use as a reference, and we're going to break it down layer by layer, analyzing each element to get inside the song's head. And we're going to take everything we learned to fully finish a 6-minute song complete with transitions and effects, all in under 30 minutes. You can grab the final project file plus a library of pro templates and racks linked below. And if you need help finishing songs faster, a free toolkit of time-saving resources is down there as well. This is the song we'll be using as a reference, and the timer starts in 3, 2, 1. All right, so this is a look at the template that we have here, and I've already recorded in a bit of the song. I'm gonna try to play as little as possible so we don't have to have any like ads running on this. But what I've done is I've gathered like the most melodic content that's going on in the song. So it's kind of like the biggest drop. Because we're gonna now dissect this and kind of have try to pull it apart as much as we can here. So we got the 8 bars here, or maybe this is just 4. We're gonna grab this and we're just gonna use the stem separator inside of Ableton, and we'll have it all on separate tracks on high speed, and we do not want to merge into a single track. This way we're going to be able to see all of the different elements in detail and actually be able to use the similar sound functionality to find samples within our library that are similar very, very fast. So we can kind of be analyzing it and decoding the tune while we're also then building something new at the same time. So let's have a look at the actual exported out tunes here. So this is how it all sounds. Very nice. I'm gonna get started with the drums, is usually my favorite. So let's have a look at this. Cool. So I'm hearing a pretty big round kick. The main open hat is like, it's slightly opened. It's a little bit opened. It's not like a full closed hat. It has like some openness to it, but it's not like super open and wide. Quite tight. And then let's hear like the kind of the clap and the snares. Sounds like it's mostly just a clap. I'm not necessarily hearing a snare layered underneath. There might be a bit of a snare layered underneath, but it definitely has a little bit more of like a nice low end to it. And then there's a lot of like extra little percussion elements and stuff like that going on there. So let's go ahead, and what we're going to do is we'll go over to, we're going to pull apart the drums a little bit more, and we're going to use the drum isolator that I've built here. So if we throw this on here, we can hear the drum loop, and then we can remove the low end, kind of hear what it would sound like as a top loop. But then we can also now analyze like just the opens hats. You can hear there's probably, I think that sounds like there's like a layered closed hat as well. Maybe a bit of a shaker in there, and then some of like the extra little fills are coming through in this. And let's have a listen to the claps isolated. So quite a full sounding element there. I definitely, in this, when you hear it isolated, I feel like I can definitely hear more of a snare layered in there. Okay, cool. So let's then go back to off. And let's go and grab a kick drum. Maybe this one here. So what we're gonna do is Command E to isolate this out and Command J to isolate the kick. Now we can hear, we'll go like this, and we're gonna go show similar files. And so this is the kick on its own. A little bit of a percussive elements coming out in the high end. So let's see if we can find something that's kind of similar. I like that right away. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over to this kick area here. We're gonna throw this into the kick rack. And then what we'll do is we'll go up here. I've already have it with this template here, like a kick pattern, 4 on the floor, already set up. So now what we can do is we can go back to the drums. We're gonna go and do the low cut, so we're essentially removing the kick. And now what we can do is we can hear it. Cool, so that's with our kick in there. So we'll go over to the reference tool now, and we're gonna go and just make sure it's set up correctly. So we have it on the refs, so that's good. So I'm just gonna turn it on and then turn it off here, and then we should be able to see it. Oh, let's actually turn it on with a sidechain here. So the white is our sound and the yellow is the reference track. So you can see the kick that we added in just needs to be turned up in volume. So we'll go over to the kicks channel. A little bit more maybe. Too much. Cool, so I'm just using the main channel volume here to balance it out so it's kind of hitting roughly in the same area now. So what we're gonna do is we'll close this, and I'm gonna grab everything, Command A, and then just find one of these channels and bring it down a couple decibels because we were kind of hitting the red over here. So now we have the kick done. Let's go ahead and keep pulling apart these drums before we move on to any of the other elements. So what we'll do, we'll use this little tool to isolate the hats. And then what we're gonna do is press Command B, and we can now bounce that out. Let's see if that did what I wanted. Yeah, so we zoom in. There we go. That probably looks a little clearer. You can see now we just have the open hats. So the little trick here is that we can then just right click this, go show similar files, and try to find a replacement. Maybe this one. I kind of like that one a little bit more. So we'll throw that in here, and then what we're gonna do is, actually, we're gonna do a new track. So we'll do insert audio track. We're gonna drag this down, and we're gonna change this to open hats. And it has my channel strip already built in here. So we're gonna remove the side chain, and we're just gonna pull down the sustain a bit to like tighten up that open hat. There. So now it sounds a little bit, I would say, more sonically similar to the reference. Now let's go back to the drum stems that we have here that we separated. And now let's isolate out the clap. And then what we'll do is, once again, Command B. So now we have a track with just that. So we can hear how that sounds isolated. Definitely you can hear the higher end of the clap and like a lower end of like a snare. So what we'll do is we'll right click and do show some more files again and see if we can find something similar. I feel like that's a little bit closer because it's that this loop in particular is layered. So let's have a listen. Let's have a listen to everything together. Cool. Claps. And then what we're gonna do now is we are missing a little bit of some of the elements, but what I want to do is go back to the reference. And let's see ours compared to the... Okay, so what you can see is that we have probably too much high end. So we'll just go into this open hat layer here and we'll bring this down a bunch. We're gonna bring it down even more. Bring it. And then I guess we're gonna bring down the kick down now a little bit. I feel like that, it looks like it's a little off, but I feel like it sounds like almost like the hat's still a little too quiet. So we're gonna leave it like that for now. And then let's go back one more time to this drum group. And then what we're gonna do here is now we'll just press this so it's a low cut. So we're essentially turning it into a top loop. And we'll do Command B one more time. And now we'll do a show similar files on this to try to find some kind of like top loop that goes well with it. So we're looking for something with kind of a little bit more of this kind of like funky percussion that I'm kind of hearing in there. So let's actually delete this. And that way what we can do is as we're like auditioning the different top loops, we'll be listening to it in contact with our kick, hat, and claps to find something that kind of works well with our elements here. Are you digging this workflow? You can grab this project file, custom racks, templates, and more at the link on screen now and in the description. New files are added weekly. Now back to the challenge. I think that first one, which I think is that's the same one here. Let's drag this one in. I think that's cool. It has what we want there. What we're gonna do is actually we'll create a new track, audio track again. Let's drag that in here. Let's remove this for now. And now we have this top loop, and we'll rename it tops. And we have the low kick being automatically being removed there with the EQ8. So essentially we're removing the kick drum, which it turns it into a top loop. What I mean by that? It has a pretty sick sounding kick there, but we just want to kind of turn it into a top loop, so we'll just use the EQ to remove the kick. Maybe a little sidechain. Okay, cool. And now let's kind of hear that all together. Cool. And then let's go ahead and have, I think that's actually pretty good. Let's have a listen to the reference so we just get back to that. Okay, so and then ours. We're gonna go back to this top loop and we're just gonna tighten it up a little bit. Okay, I think that's cool. And we're gonna bring down the volume a little bit on that. Let's bring up the open hat a little bit. Just kind of my instinct is pulling me there. Okay, I think it's a little too busy compared to the reference, but I think it's somewhat on the right track. So we'll go with that for now. See what we're doing for time. Okay, so the drum's in about 10 or so minutes there. Let's move on to the bass line, kind of get into that. So let's have a listen to the bass line on its own. So there's a sub, like a synthy mid bass kind of sound. So I'm hearing kind of a bit of a layer. It might all be one sound, like one synth, but there's definitely like the sub that's carrying a lot of the bass, and then like a mid bass layer that's carrying a bit more of the character. And then what we'll do now is we'll grab this audio and we'll drag it into an empty MIDI clip here and convert it to melody. So it's just gonna do like no chords or anything like that. And now let's see how Ableton's audio to MIDI works. See if it was good enough to kind of get us in the ballpark. Let's open it up. Okay, I feel like that's not quite good enough. So let's go ahead and try to like dial this in a little bit. It definitely can be good at getting it in the ballpark, but let's hear it. So I think let's go listen to it one more time. So it's do. Let's tighten it up. Okay, that's closer. Bringing up the volume. I'm gonna bring up the volume generally. And it's doom. So let's tighten up the pattern. Perfect. And I think it would just be like this. Boom. Oops. And we want to make that first note a bit longer. And then I think it's going to be this D flat. Let's just grab this because I think it's basically playing the same pattern. It's just the chord progression. Let's try like that. And I think it's like this. Okay, and then we'll kill this. And then grab this. And I think it was like A. Okay, I think that's good. I accidentally removed one note, so we'll just go back here and fix that. I think it's like that. And then over here. Cool. So I think we pretty well recreated there. We have probably a little bit to do in the high end of this tune, of the mid bass there, but we kind of got the chord progression. So it's mostly pedaling on the F, which is the key of the tune, and then it just does a little bit of a chord progression change, D flat into B flat. So what we're gonna do is now let's move over and check out what the melodic elements are here. Okay, so it's pretty subtle. It sounds like it's kind of like very Afro Housey, percussive-y, synthy pluck things. And then in terms of the main vocals. Okay, cool. So it's basically like a cool diva-ish vocal, and then it's very chopped up, which is really interesting. So what we'll do now is we're going to kind of like take this and try to build something similar, but not like a super carbon copy. So one of the first easy things to do is let's take this bass line and let's just bring it down. I changed the overall key. Well, okay, that's fine. We'll change ours to D minor. And then we'll have it, so maybe we should change the pattern a bit. Yeah, let's make something like that. So we'll make ours at least a different bit of a pattern. Like that. And then we'll bring that up here. Actually, we gotta go like probably like this. Delete it. So now we have a new pattern. Oopsies. Boom, boom. And then we'll make it this the G here also. Boom. Okay, cool. It's like still pretty quite similar, but let's keep playing with this. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to get some melodic stuff going. I think what we'll do is we're going to use splice. We're not going to update nothing. Let's take our bass line for now, and we're going to grab this MIDI and drop it into the search sound. Make sure it's one bar. Okay, Control J should do it. Okay, cool. There we go. Now let's see if we can find something similar, because we're trying to beat the clock here. We only have 12 minutes left to fully finish this song, and we'll be able to do it, but I'm definitely going to have to use some tricks. So what we'll do is we'll hide the bass, and then let's kind of see if we can get like a... That might work. Let's go with that first one. That was kind of cool. Add some delay. That's kind of cool. Let's go over to this like melodic stuff. Okay, and then let's go clear the reference here. Let's drag this in. And we'll find some similar stuff there. But remember, we changed the key. So what we're going to then do is in the splice integration here, what we're going to do is go here and we'll say sync to project. So we should be able to find stuff that works. That could maybe work for the vocal, actually. At least for this. We're gonna try to get an idea out as quick as we can. Bring the volume down. Add some delay. Cool. Now let's try to find some more like. That worked pretty perfectly. Kind of going for that like Afro Housey, plucky kind of vibe. Okay, let's just go like this now. Let's try just typing in Afro House and we'll find something that kind of works here. That probably. Okay, I'm liking some of this more percussive stuff. Let's throw this in here. And then that like, what was it? It's like, that sounded sick. Okay, that might be good enough for the layers. Let's have a one like laugh listen here. I don't love the vocal. What we're gonna do is let's try to grab this vocal here and see if we can get something similar to that with like the reference thing in Splice. See what we can find. I want to save at least like 5 minutes for arranging. Okay, see if we can find like, I think I like a stronger vocal. That's why that sounds like. Good vocals. Is it syncing? There we go. Yeah, let's go with this one. I think that's kind of cool. So what we'll have is like two kind of vocals. So we'll go vox, femme, vox, male. Bring that closer together. And then boom. Let's do some color coordinating because now we're gonna do a quick arrangement here. What we're trying to do here is basically create an idea as quick as possible and have it like as fleshed out as possible and somewhat mixed even. So that way you can make a bunch of different ideas and then really only spend time developing the ideas that are worth developing. So by like ripping through tracks like this fast, you're able to do that. So, and then along the way be like really referencing the tune and learning a little bit about like what's making that tune tick. So let's go ahead and just kind of quickly do, we'll call this stutter, vocals, what is this? We'll call this pluck. And then we'll call this percussion. And then this was like tambourine. And this will bring these back up over to the drums. And what we're gonna do is bring the kick to the bottom. We're gonna grab all these. We're gonna go Command G and say drums. And then we're gonna go like this, Command G, and do vocals. And then we'll go here And then we're gonna grab these elements and we're gonna go melodic. Boom. And I like this being like that color. Okay, so we got about 5 minutes to arrange. So to be able to quickly arrange this idea into a tune, what we're gonna then do is go over up to the top here. We're gonna clear this out. We're gonna go song finisher. And we're just gonna grab arrange and effects. So this is a pre-made little arrangement map. This is the one I like to use for all mine. Basically it's just like a pretty solid, like DJable like arrangement. You can always make your own and customize it, but it also has all the effects built into it. So it's gonna like, everything's gonna line up nicely. So then all we need to do is grab this whole loop and we'll actually just paste it over the entire arrangement. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is then work from the sides. So we're gonna get rid of all the melodic elements in the intro, have the no kick in the back half. And then we're gonna go over here to the intro, and then we'll go like that, no kick to start. And let's have a listen. Let's maybe have the tambourine come in later. I think that's cool. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove all the kicks under all the breaks. It's a nice way to bring down the energy very naturally in any of like the breakdowns and the breaks. And then what we're gonna do is then basically start to decide what elements are gonna be up at the front at the beginning. And we're gonna be trying to like manage who's like the star player here. So at the beginning, we'll probably wanna have no vocals. So what we'll do, instead of just turning them off, is we're gonna go like this and bring all the EQs down, because we're gonna use filters to be able to automate things in and out. Makes things just sound pro, and I like the way of things sweeping in. So let's hear how it sounds if everything were to come in at once. So what we're gonna do is just catch the first little bit of the echo. Like that. I think something like that's kind of cool. So we're kind of teasing in a little bit of the elements there. And then what we'll do is let's have the male vocal fade in like this over the whole thing. Okay, there we go. So I kind of have a cool idea here. What we're gonna do is have it so the female vocal is gonna be fading in like this. We'll have them kind of like take turns being the star there. So this one will fade out, and then we'll have the male vocal come back in here. Let's hear that. Remove the kick, a little tension there. And then we'll kill the female vocal there. Let's have it so like the vocal finishes the last word there. And then let's add a bunch of like delay and echo to that. Then we'll have this kind of fade out. And then we'll go like this. And then let's have this female vocal kind of fade in again too. but come in faster. And then we'll have like a dropout just before the last drop. So we're always kind of following this like arrangement map here. And then what we'll do is have like no vocals. Then we'll have the female vocal fade in like that. And we'll have the male vocal come in like that. We'll kind of just have this back and forth little thing going on. Then we'll kill the female vocal. And then maybe have her also fade back in here for the last little bit. And then we'll have no vocals for like the build down. And I think that might be, yeah, we're basically out of time now. So there we go. About 30 minutes there, we pretty much created a full song here. I don't know if I super love the idea, but again, the idea is like you can grab a reference, really dissect it, learn a lot about it, then also build something that's comparable, and then within 30 minutes have like an idea. So then if you have like multiple of these built out, you can pick the best like 2 or 3 out of 5, and then actually spend time developing ideas that make more sense to actually spend time on, and not just assuming that your first idea is going to be the best and then spending like 3 weeks on it and then it Alright, so here's a look at the template, and I've already put in the reference track, just like whatever this is, 4 bars of it.
New files are added weekly.
And try to play as little as possible.